Okay, so review lang ulit tayo. FAR, other employee benefits. Okay. So, medyo favorite itong mga problem na ganito sa mga pre-board. Ganun. So, kailangan aralin natin to. Kasi mataas ang chance na lalabas. Okay, so, yeah. So, structure lang ulit sa pag-solve ng ganitong problem. Um, okay, so ipakita ko na lang kung paano sinusolve to. Ang ginagawa ko is, ano rin to? Um, yung ganyan. So, para siyang T-account. Although, most, parang ano lang siya. Structure lang basically. Parang yung sa mga usual problems. I think that having structure helps you to more um, yung familiarity with solving the problem. Aside from, of course, yung concept dapat alam mo. Yung if you have a structure on how to solve a particular problem, medyo makakatulong siya in the sense that uh, plug in ka na lang because you're familiar in how to use your formula or structure of solving it. It would help kasi speed wise and and efficiency, um, yun lang, as long as you know where to put those numbers, it would really help. Kasi especially sa board exam, the time pressure is there. So especially a far MAS, yun. So consider yung time na pag-solve should be really fast so you can finish most of the problems. You're probably, if you're an average student, you probably would expect na hindi mo talaga siya masasolve lahat. So, the more problem na you are able to solve, then the better chance of passing the not just the board exams but any exams in accounting. So not unless you're a top notcher kind of student, then no problem. So let's do it. So sabi niya dito, 40 employees daw yung meron dun sa company and 8 hours a day ang work. What else? Ito yung mga rates, hourly rates. So nag increase siya per year. Um, well, usual yan sa mga problems na ganito. And then, ang tinatanong first question is, what amount should be reported as vacation pay or VL pay expense for 2024? So, like in other liability problems, no, like ano ba, warranties, for example, you would recognize the entire uh, liability that includes your accruals as expense for that year particularly, you know. And then you move on to the next year, may beginning siya for your accrued liabilities, and you move forward, parang ganun. So let me just show you my way of solving it, no. So alam ko na ang VL each year na entitled yung isang employee would be 12. So I'll put 12 here. I'll put 12 here. And I'll put 12 here. If there's an increase, then I would do this. I would do the same. I would put the numbers. I would plug in the numbers. Okay. Dito sa kabila would be my peso values. Okay. So for example, So this would be my 2024, this would be my 2025, and this would be my 2026. Okay? So, itong double cross ko na to, sineparate ko lang sila para into years, para much better kung ma-identify yung mga numbers or ma-plug in yung mga numbers and like classify. Okay? So, for the first year, sabi niya dito, 12, okay, VL per employee. So, that would be 12, okay. So, parang ganito siya. Lagay ko na lang dito yung solution ko. But I don't usually I just compute it, okay? So, I just compute it. Pero, yung familiarity mo again with the structure would help you to facilitate kung paano mo siya i-solve. But for the sake of discussion, I'll put it here. I'll put my formula here. That would be 12 multiplied by 8 hours multiplied by yung rate for that year, 110, multiplied by, I hope nakikita mo, siguro palakihin ko. Palakihin ko lang. Kasi baka hindi magkasya. Multiplied by 8. Again, ito yung mga number na important sa akin. No? Sige, tanggal ko na. 12 times 8 times, so 12 yung days, 8 is yung hours, and then yung rate, 110, and then multiply ko siya by the number of employees, so 40. Okay. Yan. And that would be my answer here. Siguro, sige, ganito. Itong mga numbers na to, gawin natin ibang color. Yan. So that is 12. And this is again 12. This is again 12. Yan. Now, sige, i-fill ko lang yung mga number of days. So 12, 12, 12. Now, yung VL used dito, lalagay ko siya dito. Wait, on the second year na pala siya. Kasi wala naman 0 naman dito. So, it's like saying 0 here. And 0. And then this is 9. Pa-reduce. Okay? Now, you should be familiar na yung 9 na ito is galing dito. So, when it comes to the rates that you're going to use, dun siya, well, it's like 5-0, no? I'll just say that. Kasi yung 9 na yan, yun yung una niyang gagamitin is yung from the 2024. Yung from this figure. Okay? From this figure. Now, what else? Yung 11, you know that from this 12, meron pa siya mafo-forward which is magagamit niya dun sa yung next na VL niya would be coming from the 2024 as well, which is 12 minus 9, we have 3 dito. Now, to satisfy this number 11, I will have to deduct more, which would be 9. Tama ba? 11 minus 3, 8 pala. So, 8. You should know, or you should be familiar, na itong number na ito, itong 8 na ito, is coming from this figure already. Kasi na-max out niya na yung from 2024. So, ganun siya. Delete ko lang yan para mas malinaw. Now, we could do, maybe we'll need later, yung end balance na ito. So, 12, that's 12, plus 0, plus 12, minus 9, plus 12, minus 3, minus 8. Okay? So, that is 16 in the end. Yan na lang yung natitira niyang leave at the end of 2026. Okay? So, ganun yung flow. Alright? Now, kunin natin yung mga values in pesos. Always in pesos yung nasa kaliwa. These are days. Okay? There. So, 0 tayo dito. So, 12 times 8 times 110 times 40, number of employees, 422,400. So, pag tinatanong, how much is the reported expense? Like I've mentioned a while ago, yung expense is the total number of or amount of to be accrued, or kung may used man siya, as a whole siya. Okay? At the rate applicable to that year. So 422,400. Our number 16 would be letter A. Okay? Now let's move on to the next number. What amount should be reported as accrued liability on December 31, 2026? You know what? Let's continue first with solving it. Okay? So multiply mo siya by 8. So always 8 kasi nga 8 hours. Dito lang yung mababago. Multiplied by 118 na yung gagamitin mo dito. So 118 multiplied by 40 employees. So 12 times 8 times 118 times 40. Wait lang. 12 times 8 times 118 times 40. Okay? 453,120. 453,120. Okay? 12 times 8 times 118 times 40. 40 yung employees natin, right? So 453,120. Okay? Now next, this, alam mo dapat kung saan siya nanggagaling. Multiplied by 8 times 110. Again, hindi mo na dapat to tinatay or sinusulat kasi alam mo na itong mga number of days lang yung kailangan mo. Alam mo kung saan siya naka-refer, alam mo kung saan galing tong 9 na ito, which is again, yung in 2024 na rate ang gagamitin mo. So 453,120. Now next would be 9 times 8 times 110 times 40. So 316,800. 16,800. Pa-minus siya. Okay? What amount should be the accrued liability? Ito nga pala, itong statement na to is very important. The entity has chosen to accrue the liability for compensated absences. Absences is referring to those leaves, okay? Leave credits. Absences at the current rate. Yan, yung word na current rate, it means something. When it means current rate of the pay in effect when the compensated time is earned. Okay? So, ibig sabihin yan, kapag current rate, wait lang guys, medyo malilabat yata. In the pay in effect when the compensated time is earned. So, ibig sabihin, ina-accrue nyo lang, okay, yung amount at the time it was earned. So, there's no adjustment. May problem tayo later when dun sa problem na yun, yung sinasabi niya na magkakaroon ng adjustment. It's like every time na magkakaroon ng changes in the rate, you would have to adjust it. So, it's more of a conservative version of it. Kasi, mamaya pag-usapan natin yung difference nila. So, now, ang tinatanong, what amount should be reported as accrued liability? Okay, wala pa tayo dyan. So, let's solve this first. Times 8 again, the number of hours. Now, this one, you would have to use 125 as your rate kasi 2026 na tayo. Times 125 times 40 pa rin. Hindi naman nabawasan yung empleyado. Times 8 times 125 times 40. So, this is 480,000. Okay, this one times 8 times, eto galing siya doon sa 2024 pa. So, times 110 times 40, 3 times 8 times 110 times 40, 105, 600. Okay. Now, yung last one, multiply by 8, multiplied by, eto is galing siya sa 118 na rate dito. 118 multiplied by 40. So, 8 times 118 times 40. That's 302, 080. Okay? Alright, ganyan ko lang yan para mas malinaw. There. Ito yung mga ito pa-minus din kasi pa-minus yung ano eh. Dito pinanggalingan nila, di ba? Now, ang tinatanong, what amount should be reported as accrued liability on December 31, 2026? So, nandito na siya. So, yung ending balance. Okay? Ending balance dito. What's the next question? What amount should be reported as accrued December 31, 2026? Okay. At the wage rate. Okay. Eto, at the wage rate for that year. Okay. Ito na pala yung problem ng sinasabi ko. Okay. Now, yung end balance nito, yan na yung sagot natin dito sa number 17. So, mag-umpisa ka lang sa taas, 422,400 plus 0 plus 453,120 minus 316,800 plus 480,000 minus 105,600 minus 302,080. Okay, so 631,040. Yan yung ending balance ng accrued liability. Okay. So, from 2024, nag-accumulate siya, hanggang gumagamit naman siya ng BL. So, eto na, 631,040 na yung natira. Okay? In this problem, we do not have any adjustment. Okay? So, 631,040 ang ending natin in 2026. Now, dun sa number 18 ang tinatanong niya, kung yung policy daw nila is to accrue the liability at the end of each year at the wage rate for that year, dito may adjustment. Okay? So, the idea here in number 18 is that ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, may adjustment siya every year. Supposedly dito sa 2025, nag-adjust na siya with the rate. So, makikita natin dun sa another problem later kung paano siya nag-a-arrive doon. But, cumulatively, ending balance naman ang tinatanong. So, what we're going to do is, i-multiply na lang natin yung 16 na natira multiplied by 125. That will show the same effect. Kasi as if nire-revalue mo siya, remeasurement yung tawag doon. Nire-remeasure mo siya every time. Supposedly in 2025, nag-remeasure ka na because there was a change in the number of, or in the rate per hour ng isang empleyado. You would have adjusted it in 2025. And in 2026, the same way. Either way, you will get the same result if yung ending balance ng natitirang VL niya would be multiplied by the current rate. So, multiplied by 125, that would be, wait lang, 16, sorry, hindi siya, hindi siya direct 125. 16 multiplied by, same pa rin, 8 multiplied by 125 multiplied by 40. Yan. 16 times 8 times 125 times 40. 16 times 8 times 125 times 40. So you'll get 640,000. So same, even if we make an adjustment every year, you would still end up with 640,000 supposedly. So ganun siya. Okay, ipapakita ko dun sa next problem kung paano yung nangyayari. Again, you don't have to put these numbers kung kabisado mo na kung paano siya kinakompute. You just need this number of days and then by the hours. Alright, so magbagal tayo ngayon para ma-explain natin ng maayos. So that's ACC. Okay. Now this one, this next problem. So Horizon Tech has 50 employees who work 8 hours per day. Each employee is granted 10 days of vacation leave. So, kung mapapansin mo, iba yung format niya. Dito, binigyan ka na, nilatagan ka ng table. Dito, paragraph form siya. So, medyo tricky din. But again, you'll just have to make use of your double cross. Alright. So, here. Yan. So, hindi ko na ipapakita yung mga numbers. Let's try kung mas mabilis tayo. So, 8 hours per day. Its employee is granted 10. Okay. Per year. Okay. This is your, what's the start point? 2025. Cumulates January 1 the next year. The hourly wage, 100, 2025, 2026. Okay. So, mukhang 2 taon lang itong tatakbo dito. 2025, 2026. Okay. January 1 the next year. Alright. So, 100 daw yung rate per hour ng 2025, 120 ng 2026. Okay. So, the employees took an average of 5 days of vacation leave. Yeah, each of them. So, each employee. So, ito na naman. The entity's policy is to record the liability existing at the end of each year at the wage rate of that year. So, meaning, magkakaroon siya ng adjustment. Okay? Magkakaroon siya ng adjustment cumulatively. So, ina-add siya dun sa ina-accrue natin. So, let's start. So, this would be ilan yung leave credits. So 10, this would be 10, additional 10, and 10. Well, dito na lang tayo kasi mukhang hanggang dito lang yung hanggang 2026 lang. So 10, I think I still need to show yung ano. So gawin natin dito 10, may mas makapal. 10, 10. Yung credit, yung VL na nagamit would be 5 average. Okay? Ayan. So, kunin natin. So, multiply 10, sulat ko na nga lang, multiply by 8 hours, multiplied by the rate, 100, multiplied by the number of employees. It would help kung meron kang pattern para hindi ka na like me, I use by the hour and then by the rate and then the number of employees. Familiarize mo yon, paulit-ulit mong gagawin, hindi ka na malilito. Okay? Multiplied by 8, multiplied by 120, multiplied by the number of employees. Multiplied by 8, multiplied by yung rate, kung saan ito nanggaling. For sure, galing siya sa 2025 na rate, so that's 100 multiplied by 50. Okay. So, kunin natin yung peso value. 8 times 100 times 50. Okay, that's 400,000. May sagot na agad tayo. What amount is the expense? Okay? Ngayon, kung may nagamit dyan, you'd still have to include that in 2025. Because, ina-expense na agad siya, and then yung if there was accrual, then that will be recorded as accrual. Yung portion na hindi pa nagagamit. We already recognize that as an expense on the year it was earned. Okay? Alright, so eto, 10 times 8 times 120 times 50. Alright, that's 480. Yan. And then, multiply tayo. 5 times 8 times, 5 times 8 times 100 times 50. That's 200. Ito yung nagamit na. Okay? Now, dito magkakaroon ng adjustment because like I've said, yung at the wage rate on that year daw, so magkakaroon ng adjustment. Yung kanina, sabi niya, ano yung statement kanina? The entity has chosen to accrue the liability for compensated absences at the current rate of the pay in effect when the compensated time is earned. Okay? So, ang ginagawa niya is nire-record niya lang originally and then wala nang adjustment. Although, wag kang malilito kasi by the time na magbabayad si employer, babayaran niya pa rin yung amount or the rate at that specific year na ginamit yung VL. For example, let's say, di ba dito 422, yan, 422. For example, pakita ko lang yung 9, okay, yung 9 na VL, yung 316,800. Magkano ang babayaran niya dyan? So, babayaran niya pa rin, let's say, na-accrue siya, di ba? Na-accrue siya noong 2024. So, the recording would be expense. This is an expense here na 422,400. Okay? Pasensya na, bumabalik tayo dito but I'll have to explain it. 422,400 and then this would be accrued, no? Accrued liability. So, whatever the specific account title for that. 422,400. Ganyan siya, di ba? Now, by the time na mababayaran yung 900, of course, may addition na naman na expense dito. And then, accrued, no, not accrued. Ganito siya, 453, 120 in 2025. Tapos, babayaran niya ngayon yung 316, no? Hindi, actually, accrued liability. I-debit na siya yung 316 800. Okay, ganyan siya. And then, wait lang. Parang mali yata ako. Expense would have been kasi parang madodouble yung accrued liability. Anyway, ang cash na babayaran niya would be at the rate of 100 anong year na ito ginamit? 100 to 2025 at 118 pa rin. Ganun siya. 9 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 118 multiplied by 40. So 339,840 pa rin ang cash. 339,840. Okay? So anong ibig sabihin yan? Magkakaroon pa rin ng accrued liability. So ganito ko na lang, supposedly dalawang ano to eh. Wait lang, ayusin ko na. Dalawang entry siya. Okay? So at the wage rate, okay. So let's say expense, no, hindi na yun yung expense. Yeah, tama. Expense would be yung difference. Cash muna nga tayo. Cash 3,1 ano nga ba yung na-compute natin kanina? 339,840. 339,840 pa rin ang cash, di ba? And then we will have accrued liability kasi nga in-accrue natin siya before. Buburahin natin yung 316,800. Okay? And then the difference, 339,840 minus 316,800, 23,040. Okay? Yan yung expense mo for the payment. Now, dun sa recording mo ng end of year, magkakaroon ka pa rin ng adjustment na expense and then accrued liab na 453,120. 453,120. So, ganyan pa rin siya. Alright? So, technically, ang magiging ganyan-ganyan siya binabayaran. So, ibig sabihin yung cash, hindi lang naman yan 316,800 ang binayaran mo. Nagkaroon ka pa rin ng adjustment on your payment. Kung babayaran mo yung VL, yung payroll, no? Okay? So, ganun siya. Tingnan natin kung tama ba. Paano ba natin ito mag-check? At the end of, supposedly, kung ang accrued liability at the end of 2025 will be the end balance here. Sige, tingnan natin. 422,400 plus 422,400 plus 453,120 minus 316,800. So, 558,720 in 2025 dapat. 2025, 558,720. Okay? Yan dapat ang makuha natin na end balance. So, let's see. Accrued liability, 422,400 minus 316 here. 16,800 dito plus 453,120. So 558,720 pa rin ang ending balance natin 2025, di ba? So it's like saying na yung accrued liability was not recorded, yung additional accrued liability, no, wait, it was actually recorded. Yeah, it was recorded. It's just that yung itong additional, yung difference nito, yung 23,040 was recorded at the time of payment. Hindi siya in-adjust, no? Hindi siya in-adjust. So what if hindi niya to ginamit dito sa 2025? Hindi dito pa lang yung additional na 3, yung additional na 3, ito, it would have been adjusted here on this part kung ginamit niya itong method na ganito, itong next method natin. Okay? So, next method natin, meron kasing natitira pa na 10. Okay? So, this is already an updated rate. We are going to insert an adjustment here dun sa natitira pa na 5. Okay? So, merong 5 na hindi nagamit from the 2025. So, i-adjust natin yun. Hindi ko na ito ilalagay dito. I'll just add the numbers up. So, ilagay ko rito yung solution natin. Or dito. Ang gagamitin kong figures ay 5. Okay. So, that's 10 minus 5. 10 minus 5. I-multiply ko siya by 8 because that's the number of hours per day. I-multiply ko siya sa yung difference in the rate per hour. So that's para makuha ko yung adjustment. It's like I'm updating, okay, yung natitira na VL credits from 2025. That's the idea. Okay? So 120 minus 100, yan, 100 multiplied by the number of employees, which is 50. Okay, so that's 10. It's the same pattern. If you notice it, so ganun pa rin yung days. Okay, the days na hindi pa nagagamit from 2025, I will update that. Okay, so multiply by 8 hours per day multiplied by the difference or the incremental change in the rate. Okay, so that's 20 pesos multiplied by the number of employees. Okay, so 10 minus 5 minus, 10 minus 5 multiplied by 8 multiplied by yung difference, that's 20 multiplied by 50. So that's wait lang, parang kulang. Wala tayo. Wait. Hold on. Mali yata yung ginawa ko. That's 5 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 20 multiplied by 50. That's 40,000. Okay? 40,000. Addition yan kasi addition yan sa liability because I updated it. So, yun ang ginawa ko. I updated kasi ang sabi niya nga dito is wage rate, yung accrual daw natin, record liability, okay, mag-a-accrue pa tayo. Why? We consider na nagbago na po yung wage nung per employee natin. Yun ang difference dito sa problem na to. Nagbago na, so we are going to update the rate din doon sa mga hindi pa nagagamit na VL credits. So, we are going to make additional accrual. Ganun siya. Unlike doon sa kabila, hindi siya nagkaroon ng accrual. It would have been here. Yung natitira na 12 minus 9, it would have been updated with the current rate na 118. So, 118 minus 110, that would have been the case. Alright? Kasi sabi niya lang naman dito, at the time it was earned. Yun lang yung accrual niya. So, kino-compare ko para mas lalo mong maintindihan. Now, again, let's move on. So, okay na tayo dyan sa 2026. Ano ba yung tinatanong? What is the total vacation pay expense to be recognized in 2026? Okay, if you did not make the adjustment, your answer would be 480. Di ba? Kasi yan lang yung na-recognize as expense for that year. However, ang entry mo kasi is, iba, magre-record ka ng expense. Di ba? 480 kasi yun nga yung na-recognize mong panibago, di ba? However, So let's say, yan, 480, and then you paid, yung payment mo actually is going to be on the rate of, ano, initially kasi may 400 ka doon, di ba? Sige, i-record din natin. Expense dito. Lagay ko lang siya expense, not particularly, ito yung tamang account title, but that would be an expense. So, 400, and then accrued liability of 400k din. Yan yung 2025. 2025. You move on to the 2024, magre-record ka ulit ng 480, and then your accrued liability of 480, di ba? Tama lang naman. But, you will have to then pay sa payroll mo, you will record cash of how much. It will still be on the rate na kung saan siya nagamit. So, 8 multiplied by 120, sorry, that's 5 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 120 multiplied by 50. Alright, that's 240. Ngayon, 200 lang yung i-debit mo na i-recognize mo na accrued liability, di ba? So, 200 lang. Kulang pa ng 40. Yan ngayon yun. Yan yung expense. Okay? Yan yung expense mo. 240. Then again, magkakaroon ka pa ng additional na adjustment. Okay? This is not the same 40 here. That's basically the 40 inclusive of eto yun eh, eto yun. But then again, you include also yung adjustment niya. Okay? So, same pa rin ang nangyari doon yun sa isang problem kanina. However, additionally, yung other 5 na portion neto, you will have to make an adjustment also. So, that will be expense, again, for 40. Nagkataon lang kasi ng 5 and 5 eh. So, anyway, this 40 here is part of the portion na nagamit. Okay? Now, this 40 here is the portion of the hindi nagamit. So, accrued liability ka ngayon na 40k, di ba? Ganun siya. So, I hope na gets yung concept. But again, ito lang naman yung mga kailangan mo dito, itong double cross, and then yung mga VL credits in terms of days, and then yung amount. Wait, hindi pa natin nasusolve yung number 20. Yung number 20, actually, if you did not make the adjustment, you would have said 480. 480 lang. Ito lang yung expense. But then again, there's another 40 here. So, dalawa yung expense in the year 2026. So, that would be eto, tsaka eto. So, 480 plus 40. 520. Yan yung i-recognize mo. Huwag kong ilagay dito pala. Kasi ang end balance niyan is iba. So, your answer here is this number. Okay? These numbers. Alright? Yung ni-recognize mo na expense on that year. That is 520. Now, yung sagot mo naman sa number 21, 480, sorry, mag-umpisa ka sa taas. So, that's 400. Gaya ng ginawa natin kanina, plus 480 minus 200 plus 40. That's 720. Yan yung end balance. End balance ng accrued liability mo at the end of December 2026 or end of 2026. So, yan yung sagot natin dyan. Now, why you should be exposed to this kind of writing in the whole, in the actual problems, kasi ganito mo siya gagawin sa board exam. Walang extra paper, walang like direct ka magsagot dun sa mga numbers. So don't be surprised. I know you may be asking na ang gulo-gulo naman yung magsulat. yeah, that's how it should be, or that's how you're going to end up na gagawin mo. So, kailangan mo masanay na ganito. So, I don't want to apologize because ganito mo talaga siya gagawin eventually, no? So, anyway, I hope na-explain ko naman yung relationship between those numbers. So, yeah, let's move on. So, kung nakikita mo pala, structure-wise, kung kabisado mo na itong um, what do you call this, structure natin, ito lang yung mga kailangan mo talaga. Yan. Ganyan lang siya. Ganyan lang siya. Ganyan lang dapat ang maging itsura ng paper mo. Anyway, let's try to do that in the next problem. Next problem. So here, Metallica Trading Corp. By the way, ABA yung answer natin. Then. A, B, and A. And now, Metallica Trading Corp has 60 employees who work 8 hours a day, are paid hourly. Okay. The entity began a program granting employees 10 days of paid vacation leave. Vacation days earned in 2025 may first be taken on January of 2026. Okay? So, ganun ulit yung structure natin. Kung mapapansin mo, different sets of problems tayo. But we can solve it using the same method, no? So, there. Binigyan tayo ng 10. Sige, wag na nating lagyan yung natin, ha. So 10, 10, 10. Kung magkakaiba yung binigay na credits, then yun din ang ilalagay mo dyan. Okay? Now, what else? Gumamit siya dito, 0. Wala siyang ginamit. Dito, gumamit siya ng 7. Okay? Alright? So again, this is coming from this amount. Right? And then, in this is your sige, 2025, and this is your 2026, and this is your 2027. Okay. So dito, sa 2027, ang ginamit niya ay 10. So 3 ang manggagaling dun sa leave credits dito. Yan. Magpupunta siya dito. Okay? Ganun pala dapat. Dapat ganun. Yeah. So, naubos na, na-max out na, no? And then, punta tayo ngayon, yung kulang kasi nga 10 yung kailangan mo, kailangan pa ng 7 coming from this naman. Okay? So, yan siya naman nang galing. Yan. You just have to be familiar yung formula natin, no? Para hindi ka malilito. Yan. So, ayusin ko lang yung arrow natin. This one. I think nag-straight talaga siya. Ayaw niya. Yan. So, ganyan. Alright? Next. This is pa minus. Okay. Wait lang. I'll go back to that. Maybe we can try also here. 10 plus 10 plus 10 minus 5. You will have 15, diba? You will have 15 na end balance. Let's multiply by, may tinatanong ba? Kung may accrued liability at the end of. Kasi magkakaroon ng adjustment, diba? Let's say 15 multiplied by 120. Wait lang. 15 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 120 multiplied by 50. Yan. 720 din yung ending niya, diba? So, naisip ko lang kasi kanina. Sinabi ko kasi kanina dito na ito yung formula mo, diba? Sa end. Diba? Kasi minultiply na natin. Dito kasi we did not adjust, diba? So, 640 yung nakuha natin. I said na kahit na magka-adjust ka or hindi, end balance mo pa rin is going to be the final rate pa rin, di ba? So, kung mapapansin mo dito, 15 ang end balance ng number of uh, days na available, pero minultiply lang natin gamit yung formula. That's like 15 multiplied by 8 multiplied by the current rate, which is 120 multiplied by 50, makukuha pa rin natin yung 720. Kasi nga, the policy is it has to be updated. It has to be updated at the current rate, di ba? So, ang end balance mo pa rin is 15 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 120 multiplied by 50, 720 pa rin, di ba? Which is, kung mag-a-adjust ka every year, which is etong 40 na ito, every year ka mag-a-adjust, cumulatively, 720 pa rin ang maging end balance mo. So the idea is, if the problem says na at the current rate ka at the current rate for that year yung accrual mo should be updated, then you can simply multiply the ending balance at the current rate, di ba? Or at whatever the rate that it needs to be updated on. So yun lang, yun lang yung gusto kong i-point out. Kung hindi niya tinanong yung mga adjustment, or I mean, if you eventually get familiarized with the idea of this format, then you would be able to make shortcuts, no? Kasi maraming shortcuts eh. It's just that in some problems, kumbaga pinatsi-patsi yung mga questions like what is the amount in 2025, in 2026, blah blah blah. So yeah, this structure would still be helpful. Again, if you get familiar with how it works, then you can make the shortcuts. All right, so let's go back here. Sensya na, dahil pa sa kalye, we're now almost 1 hour, but you can times 2 this if you're watching. All right, now I will not plug in those figures or those numbers, so let's see. In 2025, I would multiply 10 by 8 by 125 by the number of employees, 60. That's 600,000. Seems like true ito. Okay. Now, the accrued liability for compensation absences should be reported. Okay, let's just move on with the problem. Yung structure natin. Ito yung rate tayo. So, 10 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 150 multiplied by 60 number of employees, 720 tayo dito. And then dito is galing dun sa rate na 125. So that's 7 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 125 multiplied by the number of employees, 60. 420 yung ibabawas natin. Yan na yun. Wala namang sinabi. Sabi niya, wait lang. The entity is chosen to accrue the liability at the current rate of pay when the compensated time is earned. So, wala na namang adjustment. Hindi siya nag-a-adjust. Okay? So, wala tayong adjustment dito. This would be blank. Diba? Next would be 10 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 200 na multiplied by the number of employees, 960 tayo dito. And then yung 3, gamitin natin yung rate na 125. 3 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 125 multiplied by the number of employees, 180. And then yung 7 multiplied by 8 multiplied by, saan siya galing? Dun sa 150 na rate, 150 multiplied by the number of employees, 504. Okay? So, yan. Ngayon ang tinatanong sa atin, sagutin muna natin yung isa. Okay. The accrued liability for compensation absence should be reported at 900 in 2026. Yung accrual natin pwede tayong hanggang dito lang tayo. Okay? So, kung galing ako sa taas, pababa, 600 plus 720 minus 420, that's 900. So, tama. So, galing sa taas, tapos stop lang ako hanggang 2026. Ganun lang yung ginawa ko. Okay, so 900, pwede na naman ako magpatuloy dito, plus 960 minus 180 minus 504, which is 1176,000. So mukhang mali ito. 1150 kasi sinabi niya. 1176, so ang tamang sugat natin dito is only statement 1 and 2. Yan yung sagot natin dito sa problem na to. So if you can notice, same structure lang tayo. Mabilis ka kung kabisado mo na yung mga figures, no? Yung ending balance natin dito, it would be different kasi hindi siya nagkaroon ng adjustment. Try natin 10 plus 0, 10 plus 0 plus 10 minus 7 plus 10 minus 3 minus 7. So 13 na lang yung natitira, di ba? Isubukan natin i-multiply by 8, multiplied by current, that's 200, multiplied by the number of employees, 60. Okay, so that's 13 times 8 times 200 times 60. So 1248, 1248. Yan, ganyan siya if nag-a-update siya, kung nag-a-adjust siya. Eh, hindi siya nag-a-adjust eh. So, meaning yung liability on the prior years are less, actually, are less. So, it appears that yung kung nagre-recognize siya, kung nag-update siya per year, it's more conservative kasi nagre-recognize na siya agad ng liability every year. Kumbaga ina-update niya yung liability niya at the updated rate of wage per hour ng employees. So, 'di ba? It would have been 1248. Ngayon, hindi siya nag-a-adjust, that's why this one is lower. Lower ang liability niya. This one is more conservative, I would say. So, last problem tayo. Okay. We're 1 hour na pala here. Anyway, this is a different kind of employee benefits problem, no? So, sabi niya, although madali lang naman siya, so mag-lay off daw sila ng mga tao kasi siguro nalulugi na as part of the closure. Nag-offer yung company, di ba? Yung mga redundant positions daw, tatanggalin na at 40 per worker. So, parang lump sum na payment nila. Now, to facilitate the final shipment of inventory, mag-iiwan daw expected 20% of the workforce for 9 months. Okay? Actually, hanggang mag-end ng yan yung ina-expect nila. 20%, sabi nila. So, nag-offer sila sa mga tao based on company-wide survey. Okay? Ang nag-agree dito is 100. 100 employees ang nag-agree eh. So, yan yung mga tinatanong niya. How much is the termination plan? So, madali lang naman siya. Ang termination plan kasi, or the total, ito kasi yung magdi-differentiate yan eh, yung word na total. But the termination benefit is just simply your 400 na employees multiplied by yung guaranteed, which is 40,000. So 1.6, what's this? 400 times 40,000, that's 16 M. Okay, 16 M. 16 million na guarantee. This is guaranteed. Guaranteed na liability mo to eh. This is the number of employees. Total number of employees actually. So this is your termination benefit. Ito po yan, 16 million. Now, yung isa kasi is yung short-term benefit under the termination plan. It's just the incremental liability. So, that would be yung difference lang na okay, yung difference that's still going to be, well, in this case yun na lang yung 100 lang na natitira multiplied by 120k minus 40k. So technically yung etong 100 na employees na ito, employees retained. Okay. Itong mga to, makakatanggap sila ng kabuuan ng 120. So, parang ihihiwalay lang naman natin yung guaranteed na liability dun sa incremental. This is incremental liability. So, that would be 120 minus 40 is 80. Okay. So, 100. 100 times 80,000. That's 8 million. So, tama pa rin siya. Diba? This is incremental. Total incremental liability. So that's ngayon yung total benefit under the termination plan is just a summation of the two. So that's 24 million. So di ba? Simple lang siya. So sayang naman kung hindi natin ito makuha. So yun lang, overall sana may napulot ka sa mga problems na to. Baunin mo yan sa board exam, sayang yung 1.2 points. In most of mga sets of problem of FAR questionnaire na nakita ko, meron siyang mga ganito. So, I think it's a favorite topic. So, yun lang. Good luck sa board exam mo. Magiging CPA ka. Goodbye.